Hello everybody and welcome to CCCLXVI,
Hello.
the podcast where we talk about the last movies we watched over the last week. I remembered about a couple seconds in to doing it that I needed to do it slow. Okay. But we're just going to stop talking about the speed of the opening because, I mean...
It's stupid.
It gets pretty boring, just talking about... we could probably do a whole podcast about why...
It's stupid.
But it'd be...
Maybe
not
we'll
very
do
fun.
that next year.
Next year, we're probably going to do just a podcast where we talk about stuff because I don't want to watch another 366 movies because I think we're probably going to end up just watching the exact same movies again. And, what's the point of listening to our review twice?
Yeah, it's just...
our opinions might have changed, but, a majority of them will probably just be the same. So,
if we did that, I'd probably just say, it's the same as my review last year.
Same. Yeah, okay, so as I was about to say it, then I was rudely interrupted by Benji. He'll be getting at least 5 shots for that.
What?
I'm kidding, by the way. I'm not going to shoot you.
Oh.
Don't let them know that I'm going to shoot you, Benji, or the police might come after me. We talk about the movies now, okay? Speaking of police coming after you, we watched Christopher Nolan's first feature film, Following. And so last week I said that Doodlebug was Christopher Nolan's first short film, but that's not actually true. It's his first publicly available short film. He did direct a couple other short films, however, those aren't available for you to watch, so I don't really count those, but in case you're thinking that it was his first film ever made, it wasn't. It's just the first one that's publicly available.
So he had made a movie before he made Doodlebug.
A short film, not movies.
No, but was that the first film he made that was public, or was it just his first short film that was made public? Did he make a full feature?
No, this is his first, this is his first movie made public.
Okay, got it.
This is his first film thing that he made public.
Okay, got it.
We're going to talk about Following now?
Yeah.
So this is the first movie, in quite a while that we've actually watched during the week, which is, really surprising considering how, we made it to this 5-movie schedule so that way we wouldn't have to watch all of our movies all the time, but we ended up just watching them all on the weekends anyways, because we were very lazy and we don't want to do it in the week, and so we just save it all for the last minute. But Following was great. It was an amazing movie, right, Benji?
Uh-huh. I really like that.
It's not as good as some of other Christopher Nolan's films. I think that, Inception is definitely better.
Can I say something about
Sure.
it? So this is kind of like a spoiler alert because, it kind of gives
spoiler alert. We're gonna stop saying spoiler alert, but don't listen to a podcast about reviewing movies. Maybe if you really want to know what our opinions are on it, but I don't know. Or thinking should I watch this film or not? Because there's gonna be spoilers. But I think that sometimes having spoilers can enhance the film for you.
Uh-huh.
I watched a video about spoilers and why, what is a spoiler, Are spoilers bad? Because, what is a spoiler? Just information about a film, but when does it become a spoiler? If I tell you a film's genre, is that a spoiler? Because, I'm giving something away about the movie, but...
Okay, so can I say what I had to say?
Yeah, sorry, I totally cut you off.
So the ending is just, it's really sad. Because, the good guy loses, and it's not like he's a bad guy, he's just a person. You know what I mean? And Ethan's like, oh, they're telling a story. I understand. They're not trying to teach a lesson like some of the other movies. They're just saying, this is the story and how it happened. He's told me a lot about how I shouldn't care so much about the endings of movies. But, so I didn't like the ending because he gets arrested at the end.
The whole point of the movie is that, is that he's being set up for this crime, Let's talk about The Following, because I'm sure that most of you probably haven't seen The Following. It's, lesser known. It's Christopher Nolan's first film. Christopher Nolan's a pretty well-known director, but most people don't watch the director's first films. However, we do, because we're just that dedicated.
Yeah, we've watched...
What do you mean?
We've watched Stanley Kubrick's first film, and then we've also watched Christopher
Nolan's first. We'd like to watch directors' earlier works, because, I don't know, I just find that sort of interesting. So Following is about a writer, and what he does is he decided that one day he was just going to start following people. So what he does is he starts following people, hence the name, Following. I sometimes call it The Following, so if I call it The Following during this, don't get confused. Don't think I'm talking about like a different film or something. The actual title is Following, but I often refer to it as The Following because it just seems a lot more natural to say The Following than just Following.
Yeah,
like, have you seen Following, or have you just seen The Following? You know, it just sounds more like a movie like.
It's like, it's out of... It just doesn't seem right to just say following. It's
like a verb that you're using as a noun, but the following sort of makes it sound like an actual thing that happened, you know, making it a noun.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying, Benji?
Yes, right? I understand. Yeah, it's just easy to say that, yeah. So, you had something to say about it?
Yeah, I was going to talk about what happened in it. So a writer starts following people, and so what he does is he starts following people to get, like, characters for his books. And so he follows this one guy. I'm going to say follow a lot. So he starts following this one guy, and this one guy talks to him, and he says that his name is Cobb. And so the writer says that his name is Bill. However, I have a feeling that's not his real name, because he's not credited as Bill. So I'm pretty sure that he just used, like, a fake name, you know, because why would you give the guy your real name, you know? What if he's, like, a police officer or something? Although he's not really committing a crime, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I understand.
But he's often referred to as Bill. I'm just going to call him the writer. I might call him Bill. I don't know. Haven't decided.
Yeah.
Not thinking through this very much. So he starts talking to him, and he tells him that he's a thief. And so what he does is he then goes and he robs some place with him. And so they go and they rob a place, where we rob a house. And so then what they do is they leave the house, and they go eat dinner, but the people that were at the house are at the same dinner as them, and then he left. And so then he tells the other guy to search out a place. And so then what happens is he takes him to his own house, and then he goes to Bill's girlfriend's house. It's like sort of a little bit confusing, and this whole thing is being recounted to a police officer. Anyways, so what happens is it turns out that he's been played this entire time, and what film tricks you into thinking is that it's because Cobb actually killed some old lady, and he wants to not get in, or he didn't kill this old lady, but it looks like he did, so he wants to make sure that he didn't kill the old lady, or he wants it to make, I'm not quite sure how to phrase that, but he wants it to make it look like he didn't kill the old lady.
And he
did.
But
what happens,
he just doesn't want people to be confused.
Is that this old lady thing never happened. He wanted to actually kill his girlfriend, I guess. Just watch the film. You'll understand a lot better. But it's a pretty well-made film. It had like a $6,000 budget, so it's a really low-budget film, which is part of the reason why I like this.
And
it has some great performances. I normally, under most circumstances, I'd give this an 8 or 9 out of 10, but I'm going to give this a 10 out of 10 because of the fact that it was like a first directorial attempt. It was made for practically no budget. And because of that, it's a fantastic film.
Yeah, I'd probably rate it 10 out of 10. Because...
But I mean, under most circumstances, I rate it a little less, but because it's a no-budget film, and also it's just sort of fun to watch these sort of low-budget films, because I am an aspiring director, and I mean, I'm probably not going to make films that have a very high budget to begin with. So, what were you going to say, Benji? I'm sorry, I cut you off.
I just said I rated a 10 out of 10 because of the same reason you.
Okay, now let's talk about The General. So The General was a film starring Buster Keaton. I think it was a 1927 film. The Following is 1998, I believe, as well, if you care about dates, which I don't see why you would very much, but it's a silent film, The General, and it's about a guy who's on a train, and then the train gets stolen, and it's a great film. I mean, the plot doesn't make too much sense, but it's more of it's a comedy, really, and it's a great film. I don't have too much to say about this, because I've just been talking a lot, and I sort of want to get this over with. Not really, but it's sort of late again. We need to start recording these earlier. You gotta do your homework? Dang.
Spanish homework. It's like 3 questions.
Okay, that's easy.
And as you know, Spanish is just repetitive. So I already practically know all the answers.
I just gotta translate them to Spanish. But The General is a great film, great comedy. Definitely, recommend you watch it. It's only, The Following is an hour and 10 minutes, and so is The General. They're both pretty short films. That was, also The Jungle Book, which we're going to watch later, was also, an hour and 20 minutes. So most of these are pretty short films. But they're not short films. So, yeah. But The General is great. It had the single most expensive shot ever, which is your little piece of a trivia for that. And that's because they, destroyed a train. So that's why it was the single most expensive shot, is because they destroyed a train, which is pretty expensive.
They honestly, because if you don't know what we mean, it's not like people shot it. Their train, it's the people shot it, they could kind of mess around with it and make it not really that bad, you know? But the train is going across this bridge, and then the bridge collapses, and the train just falls into the river, and like you can see like parts of it just kind of break off to the side. A thing at the trivia, the IMBD is what I think it is. It said
Internet Movie Database, IMDb. Yeah. Did you say BD or DB?
I don't remember.
Just continue on with your story.
It said that it was left there till World War II, where it was scrapped, where it was used for scrap metal, because a war is going on. No time for
the metal for the war. Definitely a fun film. I would actually recommend like all these sort of silent films, which I really want to watch more of because they're great. They're very interesting to watch how they're able to do this with like little to no dialogue. I mean, there's like sound cars and stuff, but not very much other than that. But it's interesting to watch that. And what was I think I was going to say something. I don't remember how I started this, but these films are great to watch with little kids because I mean they're very sort of funny and they're not really, like, not appropriate, because they were made, like, in the 20s or whatever. Films weren't allowed to be bad. I mean, like, Gone with the Wind almost got in trouble because they used the D word. Or they would have. But fortunately, the law against that got reversed.
Wait, are you talking about the D word, like the thing the beavers built?
Yeah.
Okay, that one? Yeah, got it. Yeah, they totally should not have gotten... They almost.
I mean, so they weren't allowed to use, like, so they weren't even allowed to do that until, like, Gone with the Wind. So, I mean, these aren't going to be bad. What was I talking about? Oh, yeah, children. These silent films are great to watch with kids, and The General's pretty good. It also has trains, and I like trains. Whatever we review, Thomas and the Magic Railroad. Yeah, like Thomas. Like Tom.
What are you going to give Thomas and the Magic Railroad?
I don't know. I haven't seen it. I have seen it, but I'm not quite sure what I'm going to give it. Okay, anyways, I'd give this film a 10 out of 10 as well. Can we move on to Creed? No, I didn't watch this film.
I didn't rate it.
Oh, yeah. You rate The General.
10 out of 10.
Okay.
4 to win.
You can review Creed now.
Okay. Yeah, so,
Or actually, should I talk about...
Wait,
should I talk about... I haven't seen this film. All I did was watch the ending scene, and the ending scene is pretty good. Spoiler alert, it basically ends the exact same as Rocky, but the ending scene has some good choreography and stuff, and the performances are pretty good as well. So, that's what I have to say.
So, he said one of my complaints, it's kind of a complaint, but I understand, they just had to do it. It copies Rocky almost, like, completely in the plot. It just, like, what goes on is he's being trained in... like, the main character, and then he's being trained by this person who used to be a really good wrestler, and then he goes to fight this champion who's never been defeated before, and then he goes and then he loses, the people have to vote who wins. It's like, okay, and then they're like, and the still reigning champion is this bad guy dude who's a jerk.
It's a split decision is what that's called, by the way, Benji.
Okay. Do they always do that, or they don't? Only whenever it's like a tie?
Yeah, it's a split decision, because one judge voted for, whatever the guy's name. I didn't watch the movie.
Some dude.
I watched the ending scene, but I don't remember what his name was. For, the black guy to win, and the two others voted for the white guy to win. Once again, not trying to bring race into this, I just don't remember their names. And so that's what a split decision is. And so, like, a phrase that I read, I don't know if it was used in the movie or not, is that, I can't remember his name, but he lost the fight, but he won the night.
Yeah, that's used in the movie. Yeah,
that was used in the movie. Yeah, I read
like over the intercom of the people talking. He's like, he has lost the fight, but he has won the night, or whatever.
Yeah. So basically, that describes what happened in the film. So from what I saw, it was pretty good, but I didn't watch all of it. So what were your opinions on the quality of this film? Because I heard Daddy complaining about how it was a little bit cheesy in parts. Did you feel that same thing?
Oh yeah. Like, let me describe one of the parts. There's, like, this part where, so, throughout it, like, next to this gym that he goes to, there's these people, and they have, like, these motorbikes or whatever, and four-wheelers and stuff, and so he goes, after he's been training and stuff, and he gathers them all up, and then he starts running down the street, and then the four-wheelers and the stuff go, and they're up on one wheel if they're a motorbike, or on two if they're a four-wheeler, and they're going around the air, and they're going, and just in slow motion, they're going into the screen's view or whatever from the black guy's point of view. And so that's just a very cheesy part. Because it's cheesy.
Yeah. Okay. So, yeah. I can't review this film. I haven't watched it yet. I'm going to watch it eventually, and then maybe I'll talk about it. But I don't think I will yet because I haven't seen it yet. So what would you give it out of 10?
Like an 8.5 or a 9 out of 10. That was pretty good.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. I mean, other than like the cheesiness, but from what I saw, it was pretty well acted. There's like a one take shot or whatever. Don't remember what the name for those are. That's like whenever they're entering into the arena thing, which is pretty well done. So yeah, now we're gonna talk about the Jungle Book.
Which one?
We're gonna sort of compare these movies together because that's what we've been doing like the past couple times. And so I'm just gonna say I'm gonna give the new Jungle Book, the 2016 version, a 7 out of 10, and the old one a 10 out of 10. So that sort of shows you how this conversation is going to be taking place. We're gonna be saying the new one's not as good. It's still a good film. I definitely recommend you go see it. It's worth seeing. It's not bad, but it's just not as good as the original. But the original is really good. So we're going to be comparing these and showing why the original is better than the new one, but why the new one also is worth seeing.
Yeah, because it's not like the new... Okay, so what I'm going to rate is I'm going to rate it like an 8 or... Yeah, an 8. An 8. I was going to say an 8.5 out of 10, but I mean, it's not that good.
The new one's an 8 and the old one a 10?
Yeah, the old one a 10 and the new one an 8, of course. Yeah.
So just... Oh, do you want to talk about first? You talk first.
Okay, so this is like my podcast now. Okay, so I forgot what I was gonna say. You can say. I forgot. Oh no,
this is like my podcast now. Talk.
Okay. Oh shoot! Now I forgot again. You go.
Okay. So.
Oh no! I remember. So, this is not a joke. I just remembered. So there's this. So the kid actor was not very good in it. So he recites the law of the wolf, and whenever he does, just all the time, whenever he talks, it's just like this is the law of the jungle or something. It's like this is the law of the jungle. He just doesn't say it very well. And then it's like. Don't you want him to be like a man that's helping out? Because the whole idea of it is he could be a man. He doesn't need to be like the rest of these wolves and these bears and these panthers and stuff. You want him to be a man. Yet he's reciting a thing about the law of the wolf. And maybe that's not what it's called. But it says any wolf who doesn't follow it, not anybody. You know, it's just, I'd have it to where he just doesn't. I mean, if you're going to have that ending scene, which I think they shouldn't have had, I would have had it just be, he's not... I think it'd stand a whole lot better if he just doesn't say it, and he just sits there on the tree, which he's on with the bear dude and the panther. I forgot their names.
Yeah, okay, so what he's talking about is there's like this ending scene after he kills Shere Khan, which is an awful change that I hate, where they're running through the thing, and it sort of celebrates them being different, but like, similar but not the same, together but not the same. That was the name of that was the thing that Ad was saying.
Yes, the rock paper scissors ad.
Yeah, the rock paper scissors ad. Together but not the same. And so that's what I guess it's trying to point out. But I mean, it's just so cheesy and bad, and it's just not very good. And I mean, I don't know. I honestly think I would have probably have given this film a 7.5 or an 8 if it wasn't for that ending scene alone. But there were some things I did like about the new one. So there was a time-lapse scene. Do you remember the time-lapse scene that I'm talking about, Benji? I haven't talked at all about this, but like the time-lapse scene near the beginning, that shows like, it goes through like the valley or whatever.
Oh, yeah, I think I remember that.
Yeah, so that's a really well-done scene. I love the time-lapse. It's like I sort of like those sort of like montages or whatever, but this is like literally a time-lapse. So I'm wondering like, how did they do that? Did they just animate it and then go through a time-lapse? Because I imagine that must have taken a really long time. So yeah. So what are some other things that I was going to say? So
I have something to say.
That's one of the reasons why this was good. Also, the animation is sort of nice. I sort of like it. It's not really... It's like... So it's being set as a live action, but it's, I'm pretty sure it's mostly animated. I mean, like, almost everything looks
except
animated.
Except for the kid.
Except for the kid, yeah.
And that was
also
like the kid's first role, and so that...
The kid's performance was absolutely horrible, by the way. He was awful. I mean, once again, he's a kid actor, so there's not much to be expected, but, I mean, still, it doesn't give him an excuse. I think that the old kid wasn't necessarily good at the old movie either, but, I mean, at least it was just voice, you know, but this time he has to use his body and everything as well, which is not very good. Mm-hmm. Bill Murray and all that sort of star-studded cast does a pretty good job. Christopher Walken does a great job, because I like Christopher Walken. Not because he actually did a great job, but because I like him. He did a pretty good job as King Louis, though. I mean, Scarlett Johansson's role was absolutely wasted in this film, right? Don't you agree with me?
Uh-huh.
I mean, in the old film, Ka was a lot more prevalent.
Yeah, like, he's in it twice. And it was a boy in the old one. And in the old one, I really liked who they cast for that is Winnie the Pooh's person, is what Ethan said. Yeah, and
yeah,
he's
good.
He's good. But then Scarlett Johansson's is also good.
Yeah, but she was definitely not... I'm pretty sure that she was in this just so that they could say starring Scarlett Johansson.
She was like third billing or something?
She was like... She was above Christopher Walken, and she's in the film for like 3 minutes or something.
And Christopher Walken's just like...
Christopher Walken was in it for like around 10. But, I mean, this film is like 48 minutes longer than the old one, and it's more about 30. And it sort of feels like that, you know?
Another
There's like a ton of stuff that they added that I don't think they necessarily needed to. I really want to talk about this longer, Benji, but I feel like we got to end it because this is already like one of our longer episodes.
No, I got way more stuff to say about this. No.
Okay.
Come on.
Talk.
So, there's way too much death in this. He already killed Shere Khan, but now what happened is, King Louis dies.
Yeah, he doesn't
like,
survive.
Like, just the building collapses on him.
Also, can we talk about, like, the old one? Like, okay. King Louis' song is great in that. But in this one, I mean, it's good, but, I mean, they basically just, there's 2 songs that they sing that are entirely copied from the old one. Bill Murray does not do that good of a job singing the bare necessities.
But the kid
Christopher
does...
Walken, I think the kid doesn't do a very good job.
The kid does terrible.
Anyways.
I mean, I just...
Well, let's start talking about the kid, because...
Sassy.
Just everybody, the kid's awful. I mean, he's a kid, you know.
He did.
And I don't mean any disrespect to the kid. I think he did good with what he was given. I mean, especially because, he's having to act versus
he's talking
nothing.
to, like, nothing, you know what I mean?
He's talking to nothing, you know? I'm sure that there were stand-ins or whatever, but he wasn't talking to a real bear, which, the voice acting, not really, it wasn't, once again, voice acting isn't really the same either, but, I just want to... Okay, let's just finish these reviews, because...
another thing that there is...
Shere Khan doesn't appear in the old one until very, very later.
And makes you think he's a more scary character. You know, it's like... And another thing that's kind of... that me and Ethan talked about it, that we decided to say for the podcast, is... It's like, so... The wolves would have all, like, attacked Shere Khan once they killed their master. But no, like, he kills them and then they stay back. But there's like 50 of them. They could totally kill him. Just all jump on him and eat him.
The reason why in the book is because he had already convinced some of the younger wolves not to attack him. But they did totally skip over that in the movie.
Uh-huh.
But there's like a ton of more stuff that we could say, but I think we gotta end this. So basically, new one not as good, but it's still worth seeing. The old one, much better.
We were going to talk about, we were going to say this at the beginning. Prince has died. Do you remember? We were going to talk about that.
Yeah. Prince has died, by the way. Rip in peace, Prince.
Don't say that.
Rest in peace. I shouldn't say rip in peace, because that's sort of a joke. I mean, this Prince, he died, death is sad. This is like this... There's lots of times that we've mentioned death on the podcast. But I think Prince is much more known for his musical things. Unlike David Bowie, David Bowie actually has had maybe more of an impact on film,
David Bowie.
in my opinion. David Bowie. That's a reference to a person in my class, by the way. But yeah,
Sorry.
Okay. So that's what we're talking about. And
what's our quote?
I don't know.
Jungle Book, baby.
Jungle Book. Goodbye. This has been the Jungle Book. It's not actually, but goodbye.